Okay, I ordered the Apex trigger, if you can see that there. So I got the Apex tactical trigger. It is supposed to reduce pull weight in my Glock. So I have a Glock 17, and this is 9mm, of course. It's the Gen 5. It is the MOS version, okay? So let's take a look at, well, here's what you get. So you get the trigger and the trigger bar here, and you get the Apex. This is, I'm not sure what this thing is called here. Goes on the side of your trigger bar here. We'll just pull this thing out. So the gun's clear. We're going to pull the trigger, pull back slightly, take the slide off of it. Let's take our trigger out really quick. So take out your trigger. You have a pin here and a pin right back here. We'll push these two pins out. Take your punch, use your armorer's block, and gently tap the front pin out. So we got our front pin there. And now the rear pin. It's already going this way, so there we go. So the rear one's out. I push up on the front right here. Pull this piece out. Then you've got your slide stop here. Set that off to the side. Let's pull our trigger bar housing out. So what we're going to do is we're going to change out this trigger bar, and let me see, trigger bar, and this little piece of metal right down here. So what we'll do is we'll gently lift this up, tilt it to the side. Comes right out. This piece comes right out. Now, so we took that off. So now we got to take this little bar off right here. A little hole on this side. You'll push it out with your punch. Got a little small punch here. Now I hope it's small enough. Lay it across here. Looks like it's going to be a couple little taps, and it should come right out. There we go. So that piece comes right out. Apex sent me a replacement for it. Go right back in there. I am going to put a little bit of grease on it, just some little thick synthetic grease here. Which way is this going to come out? Here we go, this way. Just make sure it has some grease on it so that everything moves properly. Slide it back in. So it went back in the same way it come out. Sticks out just a little bit right there if you can see it. Got the Apex engraved on it. So we got that in. Now we're going to take the Apex trigger. We'll put a little grease on that too real quick. Should have greased it up before I started this video. Sorry. But we're going to put a little bit back here where everything's going to move and work together. Make sure. All right. We just want to be sure. We just want to be sure everything's greased up really good. All right, so our trigger bar goes back in this way. So goes in here. The little piece you put on's on this side. Trigger bar is going to go on like this. We're going to come in at an angle. There's a little piece of metal down in there. We got to catch it right up underneath there. Tilt it forward. Oop, I missed it. Of course, I missed it. Right inside of it. Tilt it forward. There we go. Now. So now we've got our trigger in, got a trigger bar in, a new trigger put in place. We will drop it right back in the firearm. And it basically that easy to put it on. So that should set it. That sets it. We'll put I like to put my rear pin in first. We'll put our rear pin in and just grab your trigger, wiggle it around a little bit, find where it, whoops. Let's put this back on. Yeah, we're going to need this slide stop. Drop your slide stop back in there. I'm a little too excited about this new trigger here. I want to put it in here and see how it works. Okay, now put this piece back in. Put your pin back in there. And like I said, you can grab it, wiggle the trigger around just a little bit. Your plastic mallet there, it's good and firm, so I don't want to beat it too much. We want to find maybe that was it. Nope, still making contact with something. So just wiggle your trigger around a little bit till you find the right spot. Then it goes back together. It is being really difficult. Looks like he's got to push forward just a little bit. There it went. Just need to go forward just a tiny bit. Just want to center that pin up just a tiny bit right there. Okay. So, we have that put back in. Let's drop the slide back on our firearm. So we have our firearm back together. Here's our new Apex trigger. Let's see the reset. There's a reset in the pull. Reset in the pull. Got a really sharp, really short break on that. Okay. Let's check it. Let's see what we got on the pull here. .11. Let's do it a couple times. So 3 pounds, 11 ounces. Get in the same place. We got 4 or 5. That's, we're going to do an average. We'll do it several times. For 1. And 315. So our average is 4 pounds. So 4 pounds is our average with our Apex trigger. Now, I have added Johnny Glock's firing pin with a reduced spring, so a 4 pound spring into this gun. And I've also got his sear. I replaced his safety sear coming up from the bottom here in the slide. It's got a little softer spring on it. I do like that trigger. That trigger does have some play in it though. There's a little bit of take up you got to go. A little soft right there. But then when you tighten up it breaks nice and crisp. So I think it looks good on the gun. I like the trigger. I like the feel of it. The safety comes out really easy when you put your finger on it. It's not catching at all. It's nice and smooth. Comes all the way back. It just gets a little bit soft. There's a little soft right there, and then it breaks. But it has reduced my pull. The Glock trigger with the Johnny Glock firing pin in it, my Glock trigger was at 5.8. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. And now that I added the Apex trigger in here, the enhanced trigger, and I brought it all the way down to 4. So that's what, 1 pound, 8 ounces drop on it. That is nice and smooth. I do like that trigger. So you order the Apex trigger. I think I paid $99 for the trigger. Shipping and all was around $124, I believe, to get it here. They got it here in like 2 days to me. So I certainly do like the trigger. It does feel good in the gun. Take it to the range and shoot it a few times and see how it does. So remember, folks, be safe. Don't push your responsibility off on a child. Be a responsible gun owner. Buy gun locks, lock boxes, get a safe, find a way to secure your firearm, secure it from unauthorized people, especially children. We want to reduce accidents. Thank you.